Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a knotless braid tutorial, really a jumbo knotless braid tutorial with a little bit of color. So the first step is to prep your add-in strands of hair. And the add-in strands of hair are just the strands that we are going to use to make the knotless braid. And since my braid is a jumbo knotless braid, I have about 4 big strands. And even though all my strands are big, my strands do get gradually bigger, which is the most important part of a knotless braid. If you have a smaller knotless braid, you might want to add more pieces because it's more important to put strands at the beginning versus a jumbo knotless braid. Okay, so part 2, section 2, or step 2, you're going to start a regular plait. So since this is a jumbo knotless braid, we are going to just plait regularly. And we're plaiting down, and I have 2 parts. These are both plait videos. I just didn't know which one you guys would resonate with the most, so I put both of them down there, and I do have them slowed down so you can see, but pretty much everyone knows how to plait. So this is not really the hardest part of the tutorial. And like I said, since this is a jumbo knotless braid, I'm not really adding those strands immediately once I start my plait. I'm kind of going down just a little bit since I have more hair in the box to create a sturdier base. I don't really need to immediately add in hair. So I'm plaiting down just a little bit until I get to a certain point. And now we're going to get to my favorite part of the tutorial, which is the adding hair. So we are going to plait down a certain ways, and only you can really tell when you need to add hair. This is why knotless braids are pretty much more expensive than regular braids, because you really need to look at the braid and be able to tell when you can add in hair. So you saw I just added a strand of hair to the last 2 strands that I had in my hand, and I just started plaiting. So it's really not hard. You'll see me do it again right here. Okay, so that middle strand and that outside strand, I'm just going to add hair right in between those. Right now. Okay, did you just see that? And I'm going to plait again. See, I'm taking that middle strand, and then I'm taking that other middle strand. Okay. And that's pretty much it. It's not really a big deal. It's not anything that's too intricate. You just have to be looking, and you have to be able to tell when to add hair, when to not add hair. You have to be able to tell when your strands are too big, when your strands are too small, in order to create a knotless braid that gradually gets bigger. Most of the time people know how to plait, they know how to do braids, but it's a sizing issue. That's why a lot of people have knotless braids that are various sizes, and sometimes your braid will start out small, then it gets super big, or either it starts out huge and then it starts to get smaller. It's a sizing issue. So you really want to make sure your sizing is on point when you're doing a knotless braid, because it can make or break your look. The last step, you're going to, after you've added all your pieces, you're going to keep plaiting down. And when I plait hair, my thumbs or my fingers act as like smoothers to the hair. So when I'm gliding my fingers down the hair, it tends to smooth the strands. So if you add a little bit of gel to your hair, not your hair, but your fingers will act as smoothers as you braid down. But you can see that this is a seamless knotless braid. Thank you guys so much for watching the tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned how to do knotless braids.